Next time, bro. Next time she's sitting next to you and she like, F that Netflix and chill. What's your net worth? You can be like, oh, sis, my net worth is this. Okay. So I'm big. Y'all know what the video about. So let's just get into it. So y'all heard City Girls. In Netflix and chill. What's your net worth? Net worth. It gets thrown around all the time. So I was like, let me go ahead and tell the people what net worth is, how to calculate the net worth, because this is something I really need to improve on, and I cannot wait until my net worth go. Because right now, it ain't it, boo. But we always asking the guys what their net worth is. Sis, do you know your net worth? Guy, do you know your net worth? Well, Aunt's about to get you together. I'm about to let you know. Okay, so all my fellow accountants know already. My business owners might know it because they might have spoke with their accountant or whatever. But net worth is also known as equity. Y'all heard Big, she be like, pay me in equity. You know, pay me in value, pay me in worth. You dig? But just so extra. But you may have even seen the equation around. So there's this an equation, A minus L equals E. So assets minus liabilities equal your equity or your net worth. So in order to determine what your net worth is, you need to figure out what all your assets are, the total of all your assets, and then the total of all your liabilities, net them, and then, you know, subtract the liabilities from the assets, and that will give you your net worth. So really quick, some common examples of assets. Okay, let me just tell y'all. Assets are things you own. O-W-N, own. Liabilities are things you owe. O-W-E, owe. Okay? So, the things you own. Your cash or your checking account, the cash you have, you know, physical cash, your savings account, mutual funds. So, all your investments, mutual funds, whatever your 401k is in, your stock, any of those type of investments, things that can make you money. So assets are usually things that can make you money, things that are money, or things that can be sold in exchange for money, you know. So you may even consider, a lot of my business owners, you know, your inventory is considered an asset because although you paid for it, it's going to make you money in return, like once you sell it. So if you have inventory in hand, don't feel like it was a waste of money or it's an expense. It's it's a value. You're going to sell it and get money in return. But like on a personal level, your clothing, like if you, a lot of times when you have like high value clothing, like designer and stuff, I know a lot of people be like, you spend all that money on stuff that can't make you money back. You can't make cash back from it as quickly, but it can be sold. You know, there's like consignment shops, and a lot of people like to buy secondhand designer clothes because they're less expensive. So it's, you know what I mean, if you want to consider it an asset, you can consider it an asset. The thing with that is like, you got to know what it's worth because it's clearly not worth what you paid for it. So it diminishes in value and you're losing money from it, but you can still consider it an asset. If you own your car, it's an asset. It can be traded in, sold, or anything. You can use it to make money through Uber and stuff. If you own your house. Now, mortgages are a little like, because to me, like in my opinion, my professional opinion, a mortgage is considered a loan. You don't own a house until your mortgage is paid off. So to me, it's a liability and not an asset. But some people who are into real estate, you know, they get mortgages on homes. They, you know, get the home and then they rent the house out and let that rent pay off their mortgage. So in that way, it is making them money. So I guess it depends on how you look at it, and like when you weigh it out and net what's going in versus what's coming out, you decide if that's an asset or not. So that's a little, it's not one that's really straightforward in my opinion. What else is an asset? Trying to think of like things we own. So like electronics, if you own electronics, that could be considered an asset. Your iPhones are worth like thousands of dollars, your laptops, cameras, all of that, if you own them. So if you paid them straight out or they're paid straight out, you don't owe anything on them. Because, you know, a lot of phone providers, you could pay, you don't usually have to pay the whole amount right away. You like put something on it and then pay off portions of it throughout your bill. that's a liability because you don't own it. You owe it. So, but those are common assets. Common liabilities are, you know, things you owe. So credit card debt, car notes, car loans, house loans, mortgage loans. I just told you about, you know, the little tricky part with that. Student loan debt. Most of us know it. That's what's killing me. But yeah, that's a huge liability for us on a personal level. If you own a business and stuff and you have like employees, you pay people, like if you pay people but like not right away, it's usually like a wage liability, like you owe them that money. Yeah. So just to clarify, like the difference between like a liability and an expense. Like if a bill is coming up, of course you're gonna owe that bill. I feel like it becomes a liability once the bill is past due. So you know your due date is coming up. Once you pay that bill, it's expensed out. Like you paid it right there. You settled that expense right then and there. Once it goes into like being past due, then it can be considered a liability because you owe it. How I try to explain the difference between an expense and a liability to people is like basically like a time period type thing. If you owe it and you pay it when it's due, like the full amount, like no bill left, no remaining, then it's an expense. You handle it as soon as you incurred it type thing. But if, you know, you have this amount that you owe that you didn't pay right away, or you only paid a portion of it, it's a liability. That's how I try to explain it. My fellow accountants or people who are just knowledgeable about it, can y'all like simplify it for the people who don't have the background, because it's very hard to explain. I just like kind of know it. But yeah, so once you rack up all your assets, cash, inventory, clothing, electronics, all that stuff, right? Investments. And then and like any type of like equipment you have, like some people have like printing machines and sewing machines and all that good stuff. That's, you know, that stuff can make you money. You can go ahead and sew some clothes, or you go ahead and print some shirts. It's bringing you cash. That's an asset. Yeah, and then you rack up all your liabilities, so all the things you owe, all your loans, all your debt, and then you're gonna take them assets. You're gonna subtract the liabilities, and what's left over? Equity. That's your net worth. So what's your net worth? Yeah, that's how you find your net worth. Very quick, simplified version, so I can stop singing the song without knowing what it means. So next time she's sitting next to you and she like, after Netflix and chill, what's your net worth? You can be like, oh sis, my net worth is this. And he gonna be like, what's your net worth? And that's what you're gonna say, bro. And then my sis gonna be like, oh, my net worth is blah, blah, blah. And then y'all just going like, all right, we can bang with each other. You know what I mean? Or maybe we need to work on this. But it's okay. I just spit a little bit. Sorry. It's okay. Everything is a process. We gonna get there. We all gonna get there. But that's a very simple. I'm literally about to edit this and post it right now. It's like 8 o'clock at night. I gotta work tomorrow. Gotta be up at like 4 in the morning. But it don't matter. I'm giving you this video. Let me know if this was helpful. Or you just like, Angie, what was the point of making that video? I don't know. When God put a thought in my mind, I just like go with it. And this was in my mind. I'm just like, oh, maybe I should do a little video like that. So here it is. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what y'all want next. I do got y'all on that business video, but that gotta be like a Saturday joint, so I can like set up and write all the notes. This is a hard Wednesday, work next day type video, real quick joint. But I do got y'all with that business video, how to start a business. A lot of y'all wanted it. I peeped. I got y'all. All right. Mwah.